G'day, I'm Kevin. I've retired from work in Australia and I'm living here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, using it as a base to relax and to travel in Southeast Asia. This is my journey. This is 52 weeks. When I last left you, I was wandering along the Belgrave to Ringwood rail trail, and a week later, here I am, still wandering the trail. It's not a bad walk, actually.
Yeah.
And quite a busy trail. just like Thailand, except I'm dodging bicycles instead of motorcycles. Yeah, so the plan today is to walk to Ringwood, which I'm pretty confident I'll do, but the good news is it's a trail that runs alongside a railway line, so if I get sick of walking, I'm going to just find a train station and get on a train. But when I started this video, I had only about 4.1 kilometres to go to Ringwood, which is nothing really. So I'm pretty confident I'll get there, and maybe I'll catch a train back, maybe not, we'll see how we go. It's good to see that it's a very well used trail.
Yeah.
Lots of people passing by. Lots of places to get on and off the trail as well, so I suspect that helps. People can join from near where they live and go where they want to. But yeah, lots of people walking, taking the dog for a walk, riding the bikes. Lots of things happening. Well, when I got onto this trail, it said I had 4.1 kilometres to go. And I just passed a sign after considerable walking, which tells me I got 4.2 kilometres to go. So I think I might have missed one of the turn-offs. But that's okay, it's a nice walk anyway. We'll get there eventually. Well, I'm doubling back because the next sign told me I was 5.3 kilometres away from it. So I thought rather than keep getting further and further away, I'd just double back and check when I get to the next pathway off and see if there's a way there. If not, I can head back to Baronia. It's been a nice walk. Maybe grab some lunch in Bayswater along the way. But either way, it's been a nice day out. Well, the good news is I'm back on the trail along the railway. I walked past a bridge where I had a chat with a gentleman and his mother about how busy the road was, and walked past the crossing. But in any case, the crossing didn't have directions to where I needed to go to stay on this trail. So when I got back there, I decided I'd have a look, and Google Maps saved me. So I think I might have added about 3 kilometres to this journey, but I'm still feeling okay. But we're back on track. Alrighty, I'm here. Wasn't a bad walk. Could have done without the extra 3k, but nevertheless, I'm here. I think I'll be catching the train back. Not ready for another walk of that magnitude just yet, but I'm going to have a wander around what in my day was called Eastland Shopping Centre. I have no idea what it's called now. Maybe grab some lunch and then be on my way. Oh yeah, there's a sign that says Eastland, so it's still called that. Yeah, so have a wander around, grab some lunch and then head back to Boronia on the train. I am at Boronia railway station and I'm heading into the city, and then I'm going to jump on a bus to the airport. I'm not heading back to Thailand just yet. I'm actually catching a plane to Sydney, doing a bit of a trip up to Sydney to see some people and just spend some time in Sydney as well. It's a pleasant city to visit. And then I'm coming back via Wagga. I'm going to get the train back to Wagga and then the train back to Melbourne from there. So yeah, it's relatively early morning, relative to me not having seen the morning much. But this morning I'm out and about because I'm travelling. I am at the airport, and through all the formalities, untouched by human hands. Everything's online these days. Now, all that remains is for me to find gate 3, and then I will be on my way. Then I don't have to think about anything until I get to Sydney. And here we are. And here I am in Sydney. I've checked into the hotel, and I'm just going to go and grab something to eat tonight and then have a relaxing night in. But then tomorrow I'll get out and about. Not too bad a trip today. It's only an hour and a half on a plane, so it would have to try very hard to be bad, but here I am. The plan today is to get out to Darling Harbour for a wander, maybe some lunch. Got a few days here in Sydney, so I am meeting a few people, but I have some time to myself as well, so plenty to see in Sydney. I must admit that I do like wandering around in Sydney. I did work here briefly, and I was actually living 500 kilometres away. I was just doing some acting work whilst one of the people in Sydney for my union was away, taking some extended leave. And I spent a fair bit of time rushing about and flying backwards and forwards to Wagga every week. I did get to live in parts of Sydney, which is really nice. I was looking after people's houses whilst they were away, which my boss arranged for me mostly. Yeah, got to stay in a couple of really nice places. One of them even allowed me to come to work on Sydney ferry under the Harbour Bridge into Circular Quay. I could have got a bus, which would be quicker and cheaper and closer to where I was going, but the experience was very nice. But it is good just being able to have a wander and not have to stick to the frenetic pace that is Sydney, although you wouldn't know it this morning where I am. And here we are, Darling Harbour. This used to be an old industrial port site, but as the ships got bigger, became less useful and has been converted into a major community space. Lots of celebrations, lots of places to eat, have coffee. Yeah, nice place for a walk too. It is a nice walk along here, but I'm slightly amazed at how many places you can only buy things with a card. You can't use cash. Must admit, I find it a little irritating. But I guess I'll have to get used to it. Sooner or later they're going to abolish cash. Then we're all doomed. Last time I was at Darling Harbour, they were still building bits of Barangaroo, so this walk wasn't connected. But today, it is. Haven't been here for quite a while. But yeah, it's a great little walk. It's the thing about Sydney is whenever you're down by the harbour, in one of the many bays, it's always very, very attractive. A lot of people here today. I just saw the Harbour Bridge. Don't know if you can see it just behind those buildings. The top of it just popping over. There was a bit of a view a bit further back, but we're not going there today. We'll go there another time. As it turns out, we will get to see the Harbour Bridge. But we're not going to get to Circular Quay today. We'll get to Circular Quay another day. Yeah, lots of little spots along the way for people to enjoy themselves. One of the things I really like about Sydney is it gives artists great places to work. So just over my shoulder is wharf number 4, which when I was still working in the arts, that was the home of the Sydney Theatre Company and the Sydney Dance Company and the Australian Young People's Theatre. So I used to come here a little bit, even though I didn't live in Sydney. All of those things are still in this precinct, but there's also Bangarra over there now, A few things have moved over to Wharf 3 and 2, which holds the Bell Shakespeare Company. Australian Theatre for Young People's moved over here by the look of it. Yeah, great place for anybody to work, let alone an artist. There are also places for people to live here, but they are very expensive. So I don't find myself thinking of the possibility of moving here. And since I was here, there's lots more places to grab some food. So I think I'll probably find somewhere along here to have some lunch. Okay, that's where I had lunch. And I have to admit that when the food came, I was so hungry and it looked so good, all thought of being a YouTuber left my head, and I didn't film it for you. But it was really nice. I had lamb meatballs with Greek salad and warm pita bread. It was very nice, so I recommend that place highly if you're ever here. But now I am going to head for home. Well, to the hotel anyway. I just had a lovely morning. Got much further than I thought I'd get along the bay, and it's getting towards mid-afternoon. Towards it, not quite there yet, but by mid-afternoon it will be quite hot. So I'm going to head back to the hotel and just relax for the afternoon before I pop out for something to eat tonight. Okay, bit of an overcast day today in Sydney. Had a bit of rain last night, and we have rain predicted for today. So I'll be finding shelter at some stage. Temperature's not too bad though. Today I'm heading away from the harbour. Had a fairly relaxed morning, and going down to Glebe to try and find some lunch. Yes, my life still revolves around food. Well, that wasn't a bad lunch. I just was walking past, saw it, looked interesting, had space at the tables, so I dropped in for lunch. I had a beef lemongrass baguette, which was okay. Wasn't the best baguette I've ever had, but it was okay. And I had a chai latte too, which was also okay. Now, I'm having a wander on Glebe Point Road, which is my destination for this trip today. I was going to have something to eat here, because there's plenty of food places along here. But I saw the other spot, decided to try it out. And the other thing I'm here for is Glebe Books, which is one of the really good bookshops in Sydney. And here we are. So Glebe Point Road is quite a nice walk actually. It is filled with bookshops and gallery spaces and restaurants and coffee shops. It's actually a pretty nice way to spend a morning or an afternoon, just having a wander along here. And easy to get to from the city. It's a pretty easy walk from Central Station. But if you don't feel like a walk from Central Station, you can always catch a bus up here. Very accessible. And as I say, a very pleasant place to spend a few hours. Well, it wouldn't be a trip to Sydney. Can't beat the Manly Ferry. It wouldn't be a trip to Sydney without some shots of the bridge and the Opera House. So now I can say I've been to Sydney. Well, today is a bit of a rainy day in Sydney, so I don't think I'll be getting up to too much exciting, just wandering around and just travelling from shelter place to shelter place if this keeps up. Just had a big downpour, so I stopped off for a chai latte and a cake, which was nice. Looks like it's clearing up a little bit now, so we might get on our way soon. So it is a bit wet and it's a bit cool too, especially when the wind blows through. But nevertheless, I have an umbrella and I have a jacket, so all will be fine. To be honest with you, I feel a little bit out of place in these high-end shopping malls. Not that I've ever let that bother me before. Okay, I've made my way to the rocks. It is still raining a little. In fact, I'm going to duck under some shelter for a minute. Yeah, so still raining a little bit. I had lunch here. I had lunch at Pancakes on the Rocks. Had a nice mushroom crepe and a nice peach tea for lunch, which is quite nice. Going to have a bit of an explore around here and we'll see what happens after that. Well, I'm back in my hotel room. That was a bit of a soggy day, but not a bad day at all. But I've decided to come back to the hotel because it was getting a bit wet. Here's the view, by the way. Not too bad of you. Yeah. Anyway, as I say, I'm back in the hotel now. I have an early start tomorrow morning to get a train, so I won't be doing anything terribly interesting this evening. Just grab something to eat and have an early night. So I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Well, you may remember at the end of my last video that I said I was going to separate my summer vacation into 2 videos because I had so much material. Well, as it turns out, I have a lot more material, so I'm going to separate it into 3 videos and end the second part here. So I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate your company on the journey. Now, if you've made it all the way to the end here and are not subscribed, you might like to consider doing so by clicking here. Or if you just want to watch something else I've made, you can click here and it will take you to something I think you might like. If you're really feeling like a binge, you can click down here and that will take you to one of my playlists. Hope to see you on the journey again soon.